I mean, I can try to. Yeah.
4601 is the requirement.
I must be.
So we had to go across the property in time.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you know, I'm just thinking my nose is constantly going down until. Yep, I got it.
I'll touch base with you. I don't know how expensive it is to put you. Just quickly look at that big one. Assistance with this first. I don't know. To me, just because I need to oversee. Just want to give you a heads up that I might be on that approach. He's supposed to send his starters.
Post-its. That's okay. It's all right. It's all good. Thank you. The time is now 9:30. I would like to call today's meeting of November 26, 2024, to order. Sorry. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda, I guess number 3, is public comment on agenda items other than development and rezoning applications.
Can you explain item 12?
Do you want to, we have a question to explain item 12.
Is that? Oh, that's the old, not item 12. Item 13.
her name. Then I won't have to do it again. Could you please, does item 13 in this agenda, is it related to item 12 in last month's agenda? That, which was Erie County Fire and EMS Transformational Grant and Agreement. Is it the same thing?
It's not the same thing. It's the matter from last meeting was approval of the grant agreement between the township and the county and MPS. Today's meeting, it's recommended approval of an agreement between the township and Strategy Solutions, who will do the study that's being funded by the grant.
I can ask later on how much it is, right?
It's
Related to, as to today.
It's approximately a $32,000 study that the county is using. They have ARPA grant funding for a transformational grant, and basically it's coming from the county to Mill Creek Township to pay Strategy Solutions, who will be doing the study for Mill Creek Paramedic.
Well, the only reason I asked is because Strategy Solutions was, I'll ask at the end. Somebody else ask a question.
You sure you don't want to ask anymore?
No.
Okay.
We'll take care of it at the end.
Okay.
I just wanted to know if that was related, that's all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Sure. Any other citizens that wish to be heard about agenda items? Okay. Seeing none, we will go ahead and move on. Number 4 on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from April 12th, 2024. November 12th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
I had a motion made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Next up on our agenda are the approval of the bills.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Number 6 on our agenda is the presentation of the 2025 preliminary budget. And this is being brought to you by Treasurer Ms. Melanie Page.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be presenting the 2025 proposed preliminary budget for Mill Creek Township. I'm going to start with showing a summary of all of our funds. For our governmental funds, we've got our general fund, the fire tax fund, trash and recycling collection, special revenue funds, the sinking fund, the liquid fuels fund, and the investment fund. Then we have our capital projects, and our enterprise funds includes our sewer revenue fund. In total, we are projecting and proposing we're going to start the year 2025 with a total fund balance of all of these funds of $48,824,622. We are expecting to record about $64,463,215 in revenue and have $60,838,332 in expenditures and interfund transfers of a little over $4 million, resulting in an ending fund balance at the end of 2025 of $48,327,438. Township-wide, the majority of our revenues do come between property taxes and collecting of income taxes and LST taxes. Half of the LST taxes that we collect, approximately $680,000, is used to fund the operations of our fire department. And we also collect about 32% of our revenue from sewer and garbage fees, and about 7% in grants, a little bit for permits and fines, interest and rents, and other usage charges. Township-wide, excuse me, we spend about 24% of our budget on capital projects, 30% goes to our sewer and garbage funds, and 22% goes for police services and 9% to fire. So a little over 30% of our budget is spent on public safety. The proposed general fund budget, which accounts for all of the township's main operations, we are proposing to maintain those municipal services at our current levels at the current tax rate with no tax increase. The general fund will show total operating revenue of $31,053,638, total expenditures of $34,853,202, along with any transfers out to other funds of $2,579,297, and will utilize about $427,000 out of reserves to balance the budget. Total capital appropriations for the general fund are $4,784,353 for the purchase of important equipment and projects needed to maintain municipal services. And within that capital budget, we are proposing to spend $1.3 million along with the $1.7 million from the state's liquid fuels program to continue our paving program at 12 miles per year. Some are kind of taking it down just to the general fund itself. 44% of the general fund revenue does come from real estate taxes. 31% comes from our earned income taxes and LST, and like I'd alluded to before, about $680,000 of that will go to support our fire department, and the other piece of the LST supports our police department. We do have about 7% in grants and other smaller amounts for our interest, fines, permits, and other taxes. On the expenditure side of things, 74% of our general fund budget goes to support salaries and benefits. And we've got about 7% that goes for repairs and maintenance, 3% to purchase materials and supplies, and 3% for professional services, and then smaller amounts for utilities, insurance, and 10% just kind of as a catch-all of other general expenses. This is just a summary of our general fund. We are showing that there will be total revenues collected of $31,053,638, with the majority of that coming from our real estate taxes. On the expenditure side of things, we have allocated $14,199,039 for public safety, $6.6 million for public works, $2.7 million for other administrative expenses, $1.1 million for planning and development, and $1.3 for our recreation department. We will also then, that comes down to also sharing with, not sharing, but transferring out to our sinking fund for debt service of $511,753, and we have $937,919 reserved for our capital improvement funds. One thing to note with our capital improvement funds, that $937,000 is net of any other public improvement taxes that we will collect and any other grants. And especially to note for this year, we have an unprecedented amount of capital grants that we are going to be receiving in 2025, which if you look here between 2024 and 2025, you can see that the general fund had to contribute $3.8 million to the capital improvement fund for capital purchases in 2024, and that number has significantly decreased to $937,000 in 2025, primarily due to the amount of capital grants that we will be receiving. Our fire tax fund highlights. Currently, we have a fire chief and 11 paid full-time firefighters, as well as many other part-time firefighters. For 2025 through 2027, the township has been awarded a $5.4 million SAFERS grant for salaries and benefits. And this will allow the township to expand our complement by 15 firefighters to enhance services to all 4 fire districts. As part of this, there is going to be an increase in our fire taxes. Currently, as it is assessed by 0.4 mils, and we will be increasing it by 0.4 up to a total of 0.8 mils for 2025. This does result in additional about $40 for every $100,000 assessed value on your home. Just to hit on the sewer fund, we are going to be solvent, or we are solvent with the hefty fund balance, and therefore we are not proposing any increases to sewer fees for 2025. There will be, part of our waste management contract, there will be a $7 per quarter increase to garbage collection fees, resulting in about $28 annually for the year. There will be copies of the preliminary budget available for inspection at the front desk in the lobby during normal working hours, and we will also have them available at the counter in the police department for after 4:30. And the final budget vote is scheduled for December 17th, 2024.
Great, thank you very much, Ms. Page.
Questions, comments,
Question, comments?
anything? Nope, okay, good.
I would also like to just make a comment about the 2023 or 2024, 2025, the record number of grants that have been procured, over $3 million. This has never been done in this scope before, but this all comes down to our directors. We have a set of directors here, and I'm looking at some of them right now, that have gone above and beyond in accessing grants. This is on top of their daily work. These are over extra hours that are not accounted for or seen maybe on a daily basis. So I cannot thank all of you enough for the work that you've done in order to procure these funds so that we can actually do these capital projects. So thank you very much.
Could I add one more thing?
Yes.
I would like to add a big thank you also to all of the directors. This was definitely a joint effort, and they were tasked with being as efficient with our tax dollars as possible, and to really look at things realistically and what is necessary to maintain services. And I think we're able to put together a budget that does exactly that. Without sacrificing anything. So it's through all of their hard work managing their own areas that we're able to not have an increase in general fund or public improvement taxes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much to all of you for everything you've done.
I have a quick question.
I'm sorry, the questions are the public comment is usually for the end. That's when our public comment period is. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, and you can make all the comments you want then.
No problem.
Thank you. Usually it's for the board that we ask questions to the treasurer, but you can ask a ton of questions. We're not voting on it today.
Fair enough. Thank
Okay. Thank you. And I thank you, Ms. Page. I also want to commend you for the work that you've done over the last few months. It has been a rigorous process, I know, but I have never felt better about the budget and where we stand, and I think this is about as realistic as we can get. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the suggested motion here for the 2025 budget, we're not voting on the actual budget. We are just making a motion so that it will be included into the minutes. With regard to a budget for the 2025 calendar year, I move that the minutes of this meeting include the following. Number one, for approximately the last 60 days and under the direction of the Board of Supervisors, work has been undertaken to prepare a proposed budget for the 2025 calendar year. 2, a draft of the proposed and preliminary budget has now been prepared and is ready and available for public inspection. 3, public notice of the preparation and availability for inspection of the preliminary 2025 budget has been advertised in the November 26, 2024 issue of the Erie Times News. Number 4, the preliminary and proposed budget shall be available for public inspection today and for the next 21 days in the front lobby of the Mill Creek Township Municipal Building from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m., Mondays through Fridays, and at the Mill Creek Township Police Department on weekends and holidays from November 26th until December 27th and on the township website. Number 5, at the regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors beginning at 4:30 on Tuesday, December 17th, 2024, and after making such revisions as it deems necessary, the Board of Supervisors intends to adopt a budget for the calendar year of 2025. Is there a second to this motion?
I'll second.
I made a motion. It was seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Okay. Again, this is just to move this into the minutes. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Number 8 on the agenda, the public hearing on subdivision and land development plans. The first of which is replat of lands for Leonard and Kathleen Kolb subdivision. To speak on this is Mr. Waldinger.
Thank you. Good morning. Yes, this is a subdivision plan to show the creation of a 307 square foot parcel A from 213 West Grandview Boulevard, which is to become an integral part of 203 West Grandview Boulevard, creating a 35,191 square foot parcel and a 20,754 square foot residue lot along the south line of West Grandview Boulevard, east of Harborview Drive in the Gore Tract. At their regular meeting of Tuesday, November 12, 2024, the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this subdivision with the requirement that the 307 square foot parcel A become an integral part of 203 West Grandview Boulevard.
Thank you very much. I will now open the hearing for the subdivision plan for the replat of the Kolb's subdivision. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of the replat of the lands?
You want me to come to the podium?
Yes, please, sir.
Morning, everyone. My name is Justin Cree. I'm an engineer with CT Consultants. Be here on behalf of the Kolbs, just to represent the project. Basically, the reason we're here today is Mr. Kolb owns both properties on Grandview Boulevard. Currently, they have a shared access drive. He is installing a secondary access drive to create a new driveway for the property that he plans to sell. It's currently a rental property. And the reason we're requesting this subdivision is to adjust one property corner to allow the new driveway to go in, so it does not encroach on the property line. So it's a pretty simple one today, a pretty small request. And if you have any questions, happy to answer.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here to speak on this property? Okay, seeing none, I will go ahead and close the hearing. Any questions from the board? Okay.
No.
Do I have a motion to approve the replat of the lands for the Kolbs?
So moved. I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Next on our agenda is the replat of the lands for Philip R. Eden subdivision. And to speak on this is Mr. Waldinger.
Thank you. This is a subdivision plan to show the creation of a 10,620 square foot parcel A from 3914 Stellar Drive, which is to become an integral part of 3940 Stellar Drive, creating a 39,492 square foot parcel and a 192,979 square foot residue lot along the north line of Stellar Drive, east of Grubb Road in Tract 352. And at their regular meeting of Tuesday, November 12th, 2024, the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this subdivision with the requirement that the 10,620 square foot parcel A become an integral part of 3940 Stellar Drive.
Thank you very much. And now I will open the hearing for the replat of land for Philip R. Eden. Is there anyone here to speak on the replatting of this land? This would be for the Philip R. Eden subdivision plan. Do we want to get him a microphone? I think he wants. Okay. We're going to bring a microphone over.
My name is Philip Eden, and I just want you to approve this for my good neighbors here can be happy. And that's about it. He needs more grass to cut.
Nice.
Is there anyone else to speak on this? Okay, great. Thank you very much. Seeing no one else is here to speak, I will go ahead and close the hearing. Any questions for Mr. Waldinger from the board?
None here.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and ask for a motion to approve the replat of land for Philip R. Eden.
So moved. I'll second that.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Eden, and neighbors. The last land development plan is for the Sheets, number 245 Erie rebuild. Mr. Waldinger.
Thank you. Yes, this is a land development plan to show the demolition of an existing convenience store and the construction of a 6,139 square foot convenience store with fuel pumps, drive-through lane, associated stormwater management facilities, and off-street parking located at the northeast intersection of West Ridge Road and Asbury Road in Tract 310. And at their regular meeting of Tuesday, November 12th, 2024, the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this land development plan.
Great, thank you very much. Is there anyone here to speak on the Sheets rebuild? Oh, sorry, I will open up the hearing on this land development plan, and is there anyone here to speak? Thank you very much. Yes. State your name into the record.
Yes, I'm Joe Roddy with Stifler McGraw Engineering Firm.
Great, thank you.
Yep. So yeah, I don't have much to say other than yes, Sheets is intending to completely demolish and rebuild the store there at, as you mentioned, at West Ridge Road and Asbury Road. It will be a slightly smaller building, or I'm sorry, a slightly larger building, but fewer fuel islands. Currently the store has 9 fuel islands. The proposed structure would have 5 fuel islands, but it's all pretty standard Sheets rebuild. I don't really have much other than that. It's a Sheets. It's fairly standard. As of right now, their current timeline is to begin construction in early July with a 4 to 5 month construction period. So I'm here if you have any questions.
Great.
That's it.
Any questions from the board?
I don't have anything, no.
When will the demolition occur?
That will be the
the start of July. Okay.
Early July is what they're currently looking
I just want to know how long I'll be without a Sheets there.
4 to 5 months total.
Okay.
And that includes the demolition of the existing structure and construction of the new one.
Great.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else here to speak on the rebuild of Sheets number 245? Okay. Seeing there's no one, I will go ahead and close the hearing. Any other questions from the board?
No. No.
Okay. I'll ask for a motion to approve.
So moved. I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Bach and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. We now move to number 9 on our agenda, bids and quotations. First, we have a retired vehicle sale bid results from the Public Works Department. And to speak on this is Supervisor Dan Olet.
Thank you, Mrs. Claire. This is from Rob Donikowski. On November 21st, a public bid opening was held here at the township to sell vehicles and items that no longer have a useful purpose to us. And bids are as follows. A 2003 International dump truck with plow, wing plow, and salt spreader. The winning bidder was Joe Mason with a bid amount of $5,101. Next vehicle is a 2004 International dump truck with plow, wing plow, and salt spreader. The winning bidder was Josh Sturgeon, a bid of $3,866. Next vehicle is a 2009 Chevy Impala. The winning bidder was Emergency Remarketing with a bid of $588.18. Next item is a Byers Salt Dog Salt Spreader. Winning bidder Consul Construction for $140. Next item is a 1990 Ford E350 box truck. Winning bidder was Joe Mason. The winning bid was $800. Next vehicle is a 1994 white GMC dump truck. Winning bidder Consul Construction, $525. Next vehicle is a 1994 white GMC asphalt distributor. Winning bidder Consul Construction, $525. Next vehicle is a 2005 Dodge Ram 2500 pickup truck, Consul Construction, $575. Next vehicle is a 2008 Ford F550 bucket truck. Winning bidder Josh Sturgeon, $3,567. Next vehicle is a 2016 Ford Explorer SUV. Winning bidder Tycho Bach, a bid of $2,001.99. Next item is a 2002 Ham HD 110 roller, Consul Construction, $4,820. A 1986 Dresser VLS 2 66B roller, Joe Mason, $1,201. A 1997 Dynaweld 15-ton tag-along trailer, Consul Construction, $4,320. And the next item is a Jost JSK 37 USL semi-fifth wheel plate, Consul Construction, $128. Those are all the items. Mrs. Clare, I'll make a motion that we approve these bids and contact the winning bidders.
Great, thank you very much. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, a motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. We now have a training request from the Mill Creek Fire Department, and to speak on this is Mr. Jerry Hicken.
Okay, attached or submitted was a quote for a rescue mannequin for $2,150 for the Whitmer Public Safety Group. The reason we need this is our physical agility test for new hires and annual training requires the use of a weighted mannequin, and we were borrowing one from a neighboring department that has since asked for it back. So obviously it's just needed for training and our annual test. Chief Cliff forwarded this and recommends the approval, again for $2,150.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Hicken? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Now we have a Code Stat 12 data review software from the Mill Creek Fire Department, and to speak on this is Mr. Hicken.
Yes, this request comes again recommended by Chief Cliff. This is to purchase the Code Stat 12 data review software from Stryker. It's a tool to improve and analyze our response to cardiac arrest, tracks key metrics for quality assurance and improvements such as compressions, ventilations, CO2 levels, SpO2, your medication administrations, and the performance of your CPR either through manual means or mechanical means. Again, it's a one-time charge, $3,000, and it was requested for approval by Chief Cliff.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Hicken? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. I'll second.
Motion was made by Mr. Olet, seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, motion carries. We now have a fire truck financing from agreement from the administration, and our treasurer, Ms. Melanie Page, has been working diligently on this. Ms. Page, would you like to speak on this?
Sure. We are seeking approval for the financing of 2 Pierce Sabre pumpers that were approved for purchase back in October. The financing would be with First National Bank. This would be a 5-year lease to purchase at 4.7% interest. And this would end up being, the annual debt service will be paid in annual installments starting at the end of 2025 for 5 years, at an annual payment of $392,691.77. And at the end of the lease term, there will be a final payment of $1. Total interest paid on this will be $14,455 over the 5 years.
Great, thank you very much.
Yes.
And
then to speak further, Mr. Shaw?
Yeah, if I could add, we're still waiting for the actual finance language to come in from FNB, so I would recommend that the approval be subject to us reviewing that language to ensure that we're in compliance with the requirements of the Local Government Unit Debt Act. It appears that the financing arrangement would fall within an exclusion or an exception to that act. We just want to make sure that's correct as we look at the final language.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And we should be receiving that probably later today. Just wasn't in time for the meeting.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Number 10 on the agenda, new and amended ordinance ordinances under review. To speak on this is Attorney Shaw.
Yes, we're continuing our review of the Saldo and trying to get that finalized with the engineering and planning and development departments. We're also looking at updating the International Property Maintenance Code and the International Fire Code. The township currently uses the 2015 version of these codes, and it has been recommended that the township move to the 2018 version. We're working on making the needed changes to accommodate that change in the international codes. And lastly, we're reviewing the fines and penalties throughout the township to do an update. Over the years, the township's adopted various ordinances that include provisions relative to fines and penalties for violating that ordinance. It's somewhat of a mishmash, so we're trying to make those consistent across the board, and so we're working on that process.
Great, thank you very much. Number 11 on the agenda is Resolution 2024 R-43 related to the disposition of certain township records. Mr. Shaw.
Before you is a resolution to approve the disposal of certain municipal records maintained by the police department that are reaching the end of their retention period under the Municipal Records Manual. The records to be disposed include MVR BWC footage that includes test recordings between 9/28/24 through 10/11/24, traffic stops between 8/28/24 through 9/10/24, incident only in special circumstances between 11/27/22 through 12/10/22, and case report, arrest report, SRR unknown type, between 11/27/04 through 12/10/04. My recommendation would be to approve the disposal of the records.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Shaw? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Bach and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Resolution 2024-R-44 is going to be explained to us by Director Rodemoyer. And this is a resolution regarding the application for a grant from the local share account statewide grant program.
Yes, this resolution is to authorize application for the grant from the local share account statewide grant program in the amount of $1 million from the Commonwealth Financing Authority to appoint designees to execute all documents regarding said grant relating to the Shorehaven Sanitary Sewer Project. As it said, indicated this is a capital project and a grant application for that, and we are recommending approval and execution of that resolution.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Rodemoyer?
Right here. I would just note, Kim, that yourself and Dave Wright are identified as the designees for executing all agreements. So.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. I'd also like to just give a shout out to Dave Wright. I know he did a lot of work in applying for this grant funding, so thank you to Dave Wright. Number 13, Strategy Solutions LLC Agreement for Transformational Grant. And to speak on this is Attorney Shaw.
Yeah, this is a proposed agreement, as we mentioned earlier, between the Township and Strategy Solutions, under which Strategy Solutions will perform a study of the operating and governance structure of Mill Creek Paramedic Service. The not-to-exceed price of the contract is $32,875, and the study is to begin in December of 2024 and be completed by April of 2025. This amount is being funded through a transformational grant from the county to the township, which grant agreement was approved at the last meeting. We've prepared our standard professional services agreement, and Strategy Solutions has reviewed and approved the proposed agreements. They have provided, we had an old version of their proposal, but they updated the schedule and provided us with the applicable fee schedules and so forth. So my recommendation would be to approve this agreement.
Great. Any questions for Attorney Shaw? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Number 14 today on the agenda is the collective bargaining agreement for the Mill Creek Mill Creek Police Association agreements. We actually have two agreements today. And the first one is the collective bargaining agreement. I will go ahead and speak on this, and Mr. Olet, who is the chair of the negotiating committee, will speak as well. Since January of 2024, the entire Board of Supervisors, our treasurer, Melanie Page, our human resources manager, Diane Lyons, and our solicitor, Attorney Kumar, have worked diligently on behalf and in the best interest of the residents. After months of back and forth negotiations between the Mill Creek Police Association Negotiating Committee and the Township Negotiation Committee, we now have before you the MPA Collective Bargaining Agreement. After several months, the team has the agreement for a new CBA. The MPA presented it to a vote to their membership as well, and they voted to accept the proposed new CBA, or collective bargaining agreement. I would also like to add that Solicitor Kuhar recommended the acceptance of this final product. To speak in addition to this is Mr. Olet.
Thank you, Mrs. Clare. So this is a 3-year agreement between the Township and the Mill Creek Police Association beginning January of 25, expires at the end of December 2027. I want to at least thank Melanie Page, our treasurer, our HR manager, Diane Lyons, and I was the chair of the from the township side of things, I want to thank Corporal Kyle Caldwell, who is the MPA president, and his 5-person negotiating team for their professionalism throughout this process. It did start in January, and we just recently concluded that, and it went very well, and I believe that we have an agreement here that is good for all parties involved. So a couple of the key things that I'm sure people are probably wondering would be so what is the increase for police salaries? So in 2025, the police officers will receive a 4% increase. In years 2026 and 2027 will be a 3.5% increase. Most of the other language in the contract is unchanged. We did a little cleanup with some of the verbiage, but other than that, we have a contract that, again, I believe is good for all parties involved.
Great. Thank you very much. I would also like to just make a mention, too, of Supervisor Ouellette, who is chair of the committee, and Melanie Page, as well as Diane Lyons, and the amount of work that they put into the agreement that we have now before us. So, again, I think I can second that it's fair. It's fair for both sides. So, okay, do I have a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreement with the Mill Creek Police Association?
So moved.
And I will second. Any discussion? Mr. Ouellette, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
No.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Mr. Bach, did you want to comment on your vote?
Not at this time.
Okay. Next, we have a memorandum of agreement, MOA, with the Mill Creek Police Association. And I'm dealing with paper copies today, so you'll have to bear with me. The memorandum of agreement with the Mill Creek Police Association is to further clarify the sick time and administrative review process. This is to clarify who and when the officers would be brought into question. The sick leave that they might have been taken is very clear in the union handbook about the days and at what point. So this just does some clarifying language on who would be performing the questions on that. So anything else that you wanted to add on that, Mr. Shaw? Okay. All right. Do I have any questions on this?
None here.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I will second. Any discussion? Mr. Ouellette, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Next, we have the agreement with the Erie Water Works for billing and collection services. To speak on this is Attorney Shaw.
Yes, the township currently has an agreement with Erie Water Works where Erie Water Works bills township residents for water, sewer, and trash services. The current agreement expires at the end of 2024. The proposed agreement would be for 7 years, starting on January 1 of 2025 and ending on December 31 of 2031. The agreement provides for the following fee schedule. For 2025 and 2026, metered accounts, the charge to the township will be $7.93. Flat rate accounts will be $4.08, and trash-only accounts will be $3.43. In 27 and 28, the amount will be $8.25 for metered, $4.24 for flat, and $3.57 for trash only. 2029 to 2030 will be $8.58 for metered, $4.41 for flat, and $3.71 for trash only. And then the last year, it'll be $8.92 for metered, $4.59 for flat, and $3.86 for trash only. The proposed increases were reviewed by the treasurer and are recommended to be accepted. When our office reviewed the proposed agreement that they provided, there was an additional change that was proposed by Erie Waterworks that had not been highlighted by them. That change relates to the application and allocation of partial payments. So if someone, for instance, owes a total of $500 for all three accounts, if they pay half of that, how does that get allocated among the accounts? Erie Waterworks change proposed that it first get allocated to water and then goes to sewer and trash, which is a change from what we had before, which allocated it evenly among the three categories. Because we just caught that change, the recommendation would be to table consideration of this agreement so us and Erie Waterworks can discuss that change further. We still have a December meeting at which this could be approved before the existing agreement would expire, so we have time.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions for Attorney Shaw? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
The motion was to table, Kim, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. So no, nothing.
The proposed recommendation was to table.
Okay, both just recommended. Okay, thank you. Number 16, stormwater management maintenance agreement.
Sorry again, Kim.
Yes.
Someone has to make a motion to table this for the next meeting.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Do I have a motion to table this?
Are we tabling it?
They made a change in the provision for the allocation of the costs.
Okay.
That impacts our enforceability issues.
Okay, thank you. I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
A motion was made by Mr. Bach and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Now, number 16, stormwater management maintenance agreements and acceptance of stormwater management plans. First one we have is at 6089 Schultz Road, Scarlett Strasser and Sean Garner, developer. Mr. Rodemoyer?
Yes, as you indicated, this is a stormwater management maintenance agreement and stormwater management plan for 6089 Schultz Road. We have reviewed the plans and agreements, and I am recommending approval of the agreement and plan.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions from Mr. Rodemoyer? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Next, Elevate Church, LDP. Elevate Church is the developer. Mr. Rodemoyer.
Same thing, we have a stormwater management maintenance agreement and plans. We have reviewed and are approving and approve the plans and agreements. So I am recommending approval and plans for Elevate Church. Just of note, this is on the Mill Creek Mall property.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Rodemoyer? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Bach and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Number 17, a sidewalk deferral request. This is from 6089 Schultz Road, Strasser and Garner. Mr. Waldinger?
Yes, thank you. The owners of 6089 Schultz Road, Scarlett Strasser and Sean Garner are building a new single-family dwelling there and are seeking to defer construction of the public sidewalk for their residents. At this time, there are no sidewalks in the area, nor are there plans for sidewalks in the area at this time. So it is our recommendation to approve this sidewalk deferral agreement. They have submitted a agreement on the township specified form. And just as a reminder to the board and the general public that this does not waive their responsibility to install sidewalk, it just defers it to a future time if and when it makes sense and there's other sidewalks being built in the area, then they would be required to install it.
Great. Thank you very much for the clarification. Any questions from Mr. Waldinger? Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Bach and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Number 18, sanitary sewer easement at Parkview Glenwood LLC, 4601 Glenwood Park Avenue. Mr. Rodemeyer.
Yes, this easement is an association for a sanitary sewer extension project that we're looking to perform. This easement allows us to access the private property where there's an existing sanitary sewer manhole. It has been signed and executed by Parkview, and I am recommending approval and execution of the easement for this.
Great, thank you very much. Do I have any questions for Mr. Rodemeyer? Okay, how about a motion to approve?
So moved. I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, motion carries. Number 19 is a financial security release for the FAM residents at 5292 Lancaster Road. To speak on this is Mr. Waldinger.
Thank you. Yes, this was for a residence that was built at 5292 Lancaster Road. The developers are Han Nguyen and Viet Antoine Pham. They are seeking release of their financial security. Greenman Peterson Incorporated, who is the township's third-party reviewing engineer, has reviewed their stormwater management system and found it to be in reasonable conformity with the plans. There's a letter to that effect in front of you. There's also a form that has been signed by Township Engineer Rob Rodemeyer indicating that all of the required work has been complete. The parties did submit their security as a Marquette Savings Bank dedicated escrow account. And so at this time, we would recommend the release of Marquette Savings Bank escrow number 210-076-974 in the amount of $40,464.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Waldinger? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, motion carries. Number 20 on the agenda, authorization for solicitor to file a property maintenance code enforcement action at the Court of Common Pleas of Erie County regarding property maintenance code violations at 3108 Berkeley Road, Erie, PA 16506. To speak on this is Attorney Shaw.
Yes, this is a request for authorization to file a property maintenance code enforcement action in the Erie County Court of Common Pleas with respect to property located at 3108 Berkeley Road. The Department of Code Enforcement has referred this matter to our office for the purpose of filing a civil enforcement complaint. The property has a number of exterior property maintenance code violations. Since March of 23, the Township Department of Code Enforcement has attempted to resolve the issues with the property owner. Unfortunately, the property owner has failed to respond to the notices of violation and has failed to correct the violations. We request authorization to proceed with preparing and filing a complaint to enforce the property maintenance code with respect to property located at 3108 Berkeley Road.
Thank you very much. And action is required on this?
Yes.
Thank you. Do I have a motion, or do I have any questions first for Mr. Shaw? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the code enforcement action?
So moved. I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Next, we have number 21, board appointments. The first is a recommendation of representative to Erie Waterworks, and I will be speaking on this. Mill Creek Township is recommending to the City of Erie Board for Seth Trott to be put onto the Erie Waterworks Board of Directors. Mr. Trott is a Mill Creek Township resident. He is an attorney at Quinn Law Firm. He is a Mill Creek resident. He is a member of the Jefferson Educational Society and does extensive work throughout all of Erie County. So I am going to I'll make that in the form of a motion to recommend Seth Trott to the Erie City Council for approval of Erie Waterworks representative from Mill Creek Township.
I'll second that.
Okay, I made the motion. It was seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Okay, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Next is the temporary leave of absence from the zoning hearing board. To speak on this is Attorney Shaw.
Yes, a member of the zoning hearing board, John DePlasso, was recently elected as a member of the Government Study Commission. The municipality's planning code prohibits members of the zoning hearing board from serving in other elected or appointed capacities in the township. Mr. DePlasso has requested a temporary leave of absence so that he can serve on the Government Study Commission. The recommendation is to grant Mr. DePlasso's request and remove him from the zoning hearing board, prohibiting him from serving on the zoning hearing board while he is serving as a member of the Government Study Commission, and directing the planning department to remove Mr. DePlasso from the zoning hearing board member roster.
Thank you very much. And this will require action to approve leave of absence?
Yeah, to approve the recommendation.
Okay, so I will call,
I have a couple questions.
Oh, sure, sorry.
How long is the leave that he's requesting?
He's prohibited from serving on the zoning hearing board so long as he's still acting, on behalf of the Government Study Commission, or serving as a member of that commission.
Do we have any idea how long that would be, or?
I think under the rules that apply to the commission, they're supposed to provide a recommendation or a study recommendation, I think by August of 25. So it's 9 months approximately.
9 months, okay. And then is there an alternate that is going to be able to fill in his spot?
If I may, yeah, there are 2 alternates for the zoning hearing board, and so we should be able to not only fill his spot, but also cover another absence if any of the other members.
I just want to make sure we're covered there.
We're set, yes.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, then I will ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. 22 on the agenda. We have Treasurer Communications. Ms. Page, do you have anything further today?
I have nothing further.
Thank you. Training requests. We have a number of training requests. The first is going to be from the Community Relations and Sustainability Department. To speak on this is Ms. Jessica Stutzman.
Thank you. Good morning. The Manufacturer and Business Association is hosting a training on difficult conversations on Wednesday, December 11th from 8 a.m. to noon. The cost is $140 per member, and the session will cover difficult conversations and why do they go poorly. Attendees will learn how to understand triggers, prepare and frame the conversation, and how to take responsibility for what you say. This half-day class runs from 8 a.m. to noon. It is my recommendation to send Emily Dulesky, Monica Ziegler, Elena Bliley, Shelby Lekasevic, and myself, Jessica Stutzman, to the MBA training. The total cost for everyone is $700 and to be taken out of both the CRS training line item and Parks and Rec training line item.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Ms. Stutzman? Maybe I should take that class on having difficult conversations as well. We all could use it, right? We all need it, that's right. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Bach and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Seeing that, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. On the agenda are 3 training requests from the Mill Creek Fire Department. Without objection from the board, we could do all 3 and vote on 3? Any objection from the board?
Yep.
No objection.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Jerry Hagan, if you can talk about all 3.
All 3? Okay.
Thank you.
The first training request is going to be to send 6 total firefighters to the Fire Inspector 1 class at the Meadville Fire Department. This will be December 16th through December 20th from 8 to 4. Cost of the class, including books, is $274.84 per student. The requested firefighters will be myself, Gerald Hicken, Jeffrey Payton, Derek Thompson, William Harrison, Ted Duncan, and Nicholas Ayers. The second request is training and travel requests for firefighters to go to the Butler County Community College Training Grounds for a Firefighter 1 prep class. This will be on where are we? For an exam to occur on December 6th and December 7th. It'll be $185 per student and a $1,000 training ground rental fee with an additional cost of $100 per student for the prep class attended. They'll stay overnight on December 6th into the 7th. The request is for mileage reimbursement, lodging, and pay for hours spent in class for the following firefighters: Caitlin Bauer, Josh Grappy, Robert Laufenberg, Chris Parker, Alex Purchase, and Brian Salvatore. The final is a training and travel request for the Pennsylvania Career Fire Chiefs Association winter meeting. This will be January 15th through 17th in Upper Merion, Pennsylvania. There's no cost for the training. Lodging is $277.20, and transportation will be by department vehicle, and this will be for Chief Cliff. And that's all.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Hicken? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the trainings?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. We have one in administration, and Mr. Olet is going to speak on this.
Thank you. This is from Diane Lyons in administration. This is a training request for PALRAS, which is the Public Employer Labor Relations Advisory Service. The conference is Tuesday, February 25th to Friday, February 28th, 2025 in Hershey, PA. Those attending will be myself, Melanie Page, Chief Cliff, Diane Lyons, and Sean McClellan. The total cost for this training would be $5,922.35. I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Olet? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. I did.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Public Works Department and Sewer Department also have a request. And to speak on this is Mr. Olet.
Thank you. From Rob Donikowski, our request for the Sewer Department is seeking approval to send up to 6 employees to this year's Water and Wastewater Equipment Treatment and Transport Show in Indianapolis, Indiana. This conference is February 17th through the 20th at the Indianapolis Convention Center. This allows the township to see new equipment in the industry and stay up to date on best practices. Mr. Donikowski was not able to get final pricing for this meeting. He is requesting that this is a not-to-exceed price of $8,000, which includes the full education package, lodging, and per diems for up to 6 employees. It's his recommendation to approve the seminar and expo, and I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Thank you. Okay, motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any other questions? Any discussion? Okay, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. On our agenda now, we have the CRS PADEP Grant Award. To speak on this is Ms. Stutzman.
Thank you. The PADEP announced that $18.9 million in grants was awarded to 126 municipalities for round 62 of the Section 902 Recycling Program grants. Grant funds are used to develop and implement grant recycling programs. Municipalities and counties are eligible for up to 90% funding of approved recycling program costs. Mill Creek Township was recently awarded $200,000 funding for yard waste processing equipment for the Millfair Compost Center, curbside recycling toters, and recycling and composting educational programming.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions for Ms. Stutzman? I would just like to say congratulations. Again, I know that you've been doing this for quite a few years, and you bring a lot of resources to the township. Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
A motion was made by Mr. Bach and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. There is a fire post request for February 7th, 2025, and to speak on this is Mr. Hicken.
Yes, the Erie Night to Shine event is going to be held at the Zemzem Shrine Club, 38th and Zook, on February 7th. They are requesting fire police to assist with parking and traffic control on that date, and the fire chief has recommended his approval to allow fire police to assist.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Hicken? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet, seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, motion carries. Next are the executive sessions. Executive sessions were held on November 14th, 2024 and November 20th, 2024. On November 14th, personnel matters related to the police department and fire department were discussed, as well as litigation matters related to state court legislation, easement disputes, and code enforcement, as well as real estate matters related to stormwater easements, sanitary sewer easements, and park and rec facilities. On 11/20/2024, personnel matters related to the fire department and police department were discussed. Litigation matters related to easement dispute, state court litigation, zoning hearing board appeals, and code enforcement, as well as real estate matters related to stormwater easements, sanitary sewer easements, and park and rec facilities. Those were our discussions in executive session. Now we are at solicitor communications.
I have nothing further in mind.
Thank you very much, Attorney Shaw. We now are at our ambassadors. This is my favorite time of the entire meeting. No offense to anyone else. Please state your names as well into the record.
I am Eric McMahon.
And I'm Audio Gupta.
Good morning, everybody. November is a season of gratitude, and we are filled with appreciation for the many ways McDowell students, staff, and families come together to support one another and make a positive impact in our community. At McDowell, we are not only thankful for the opportunities to learn and grow, but are also committed to giving back and making a difference in the lives of others. This month, we are proud to highlight several meaningful initiatives that embody our school's spirit of compassion and service. On Monday, November 18th, we hosted a blood drive in partnership with the Erie Community Blood Bank. This event took place in the South Gym, and students and staff alike eagerly volunteered to help save lives through this vital act of generosity. Student Council is currently organizing the Fall Food Drive benefiting the West Mill Creek Food Pantry. Non-perishable food items can be dropped off at the designated collection areas. This annual tradition is a powerful reminder of how small acts of kindness can make a difference in families and our community.
Student leaders from the Honors College and Girls Athletic Club have been hard at work organizing our Caring Closet, which is a new program that collects and distributes clothing and essential items to students in need and local shelters. Their dedication ensures that no student goes without, and their efforts inspire us all to look out for one another. On November 21st, our school participated in Children's Grief Awareness Day, organized by our Exposure Club. Students and staff decorated a beautiful wall with butterflies, printing the names of loved ones to honor their memories. To show support and raise awareness, our school community wore blue and collected donations for the Highmark Caring Place, which provides support for grieving children and their families. These initiatives remind us that gratitude is more than an attitude, it is a call to action. We are so proud of the way that our students and staff embrace this spirit, working together to uplift others and strengthen our school community. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much. It's so great to hear about all the initiatives you have for giving back. I think that is really, that act of service is probably the most important part of education. So thank you very much.
Thanks for that great report.
Yeah, very good. Yes. Okay. We are now at Citizens to be Heard, and we are open. We have 5 minutes to speak. Are there any citizens that wish to be heard today?
Good morning, my name's Mike Frischel. I'm a Bell Valley resident, and I guess I have a few questions regarding the fire and EMS services that are going on there. The public EMS meeting with the county exec on 10/23/24 at 6 p.m. was not ever listed in the Mill Creek calendar. I did find that mentioned in the minutes from the 10/8/24 regular supervisor meeting. when a resident asked what was being planned for fire and EMS. I don't remember if it was mentioned in the fire and EMS meeting on October 17th. Only the 11-4 invitation was the meeting that I have in my notes. I just think they need to be a little bit more transparent in the calendar regarding the fire and EMS meetings and when they're available for the public. I also have a question where we stand on the memorandum of understanding with the Bell Valley Fire Department and Mill Creek Fire. If I understand correctly, the township no longer supplies any monies to the volunteers. They're basically left to survive on the local donations from homeowners that they have been in the past. I guess a little clarification exactly what's going on with that down the road, especially with an increase in the fire tax now coming to 0.8 mil. The other question is the new Bell Valley Firehouse. I believe the design drawings were due on 10/24. Is there a projected cost on any of this at this point, or is it still kind of up in the air? And is the location for the new firehouse been determined at this point? Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of the meetings, we don't have another fire meeting scheduled until sometime in January. So it's kind of, you're up in the air with what's going on here. I guess that's pretty much it for that. The community meeting that was held on 11/4 was supposedly limited to 50 people from around the surrounding Mill Creek community, business leaders, township personnel, volunteer, I would assume personnel all on this planning on how we're going to structure the fire as we go forward. I don't know if there's any more information on that available. That's pretty much about it right now. I just hope to find out that whoever is on this community meeting planning committee is, equally balanced between East Mill Creek, West Mill Creek, business leaders, things like that. It's pretty much all I really have to say. Thank you.
You want to speak on it? Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Are there any other citizens to be heard? Sir, I know I made you sit down earlier. Do you want to come up now? Sure.
I just had a quick clarification question on the engineering portion of the budget. I was just curious if that allocated money, I think it was in the range of $900,000, was for your engineer's salary, or that was outside consultants, or a mixture of both?
It's a mixture of both.
Okay.
We do have an in-house engineering department that has several employees in it, and then we also use outside consultants as well. Awesome. So it's a mixture of both.
Thanks for clarifying.
Mm-hmm. Any other citizens to be heard?
I think everybody knows who I am, John Groh, former supervisor. I was one of the people that was in attendance at the community meeting there a few weeks ago, and I can say, that the food was really good over there at the Shrine Club. I'm not sure what the whole intent of it was, other than that somehow there was opportunity for those of us who have been actively involved with this to voice an opinion or two. That whole charting system and stuff, I'm not sure about that. I just got the heck with it, and just wrote what I thought in the margin. And this is the question I have, and I don't, Jerry, is there a plan or an intention for the fire department to have fire inspectors? Eventually, I know you mentioned about training for fire inspectors. Is that what's going to happen? Which I think is a great idea.
Mr. Shaw might be able to...
Not to put you on the spot. I'll put Mr. Shaw on the spot instead.
It has to do with adoption of the fire code, the exit plan.
IFC? The IFC.
Fire department.
Yeah,
Assist with inspections with that.
Okay.
But I know that was in his court as to where we were at with that.
John's used to putting me on the spot, so.
Oh, yeah, I'm used to that there. And you're, yeah.
I think ultimately that's, you know, the long-range plan. Obviously, right now, it's part of the code enforcement office.
Right.
So there'll be, you know, I suspect there'll be some period of transition over time.
Right.
It's not going to happen tomorrow or next month, but
it takes a little time. We're developing a fire department.
so, and you know, it may ultimately, in some respects, stay with code enforcement because, you know, once they do the inspections, then to the extent action needs to be taken, it probably makes more sense to keep that at code enforcement, to do the follow-up and things like that. So it's something that's certainly under consideration.
Okay, I certainly hope that we do end up having a couple of fire inspectors on staff with, you know, and that would be their job.
Yeah, and we do now, as part of code enforcement, have people who are qualified fire inspectors.
Right, okay, but I'd like to see this as part of something in the fire department itself, because there's so many commercial buildings out there that you're going to find violations, and I think that you know, somebody that is in the fire department that can go out there and take a look at it. I can tell you, you know, my experience prior to being a supervisor, being a building inspector, working with fire inspectors, and there's a vital service there that can happen, and I do hope that this goes through and you get some fire inspectors. I know you can't commit too much today. I know you deferred it over to Mark. That's a good idea.
I'll mostly do with the fire code, but currently the way the process does work, we have a couple people certified that have been doing building inspections as pre-fire and life safety inspections. And then anything as a code enforcement issue has been referred to the code enforcement department.
Well, just in case anybody was wondering, when you're looking through the tests, you know, that whatever it was, I'm the one that wrote everything in a margin and just said, hire fire inspectors. I'm the guy that did that. I said, you know, about ready to throw that thing away, that whole chart. I don't know who came up with that idea, but anyway. Okay, thank you.
Any other citizens to be heard? Okay. No? No, Jim? No. We have one more.
Yeah, just real fast. Hey, I'd like to apologize to those two. Last time I was here, I got a little excited, and I think they were just introduced, the student ambassadors. Don't think I'm such a bad guy. I'm a little gruffy. But I mean well. I care for this township, and the study commission is not just a study commission. It's not just a study. It's important. And what comes out of it is going to impact all the citizens of Mill Creek. So some people get up and just say it's just a study. That's not true. Question about the money from the appeal assessments by Mill Creek. Did you ever figure out where that goes?
I have reached out to them, and I have not heard an answer back. So I do not have an answer, but I have tried to get some answers on it.
Right, thank you. And finally, after 3 weeks, it's nice to see leaves picked up in our area. Took a long time. I don't know what was going on. Labor shortage, you know, we're paying money. And finally, who's billing for the fire department EMS runs? Is Mill Creek billing, or is it an outside entity?
Well, for fire services, that's an outside entity, contracted.
All right, and you're billing every time?
For those services that can be billed for, yes.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you. That's it.
It's cost recovery.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Before we call for adjournment, I just want to make a few notes here. I'm going to talk about the leaves. Yes, Waste Management is slightly behind on leaf pickup. They had some vehicles down. They had some employees that were ill, and so we've been giving them a list every single day. Just yesterday, Emily at our front office took 300 complaints of leaves that had not been picked up. We are working with Waste Management on this leaf recovery project. I don't know what else to call it. So please know that it is not just on our radar, it is the radar. And we do understand, and thank you for your patience. The reminder that the building will be closed, the township building will be closed on Thursday and Friday of this week because of Thanksgiving. Our next meeting will be December 17th, that's a Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. And it is that time that we will be voting on our budget. And finally, we do have a blood drive that will be here, I believe, and I'm going to actually look over here to Mr. Bach. Is it December 4th?
No, it's Monday the 2nd.
Sorry, it's Monday the 2nd.
9 to noon.
So if you're feeling giving in the Thanksgiving season, if you're feeling giving and you'd like to give blood, we will have the vehicle here in the front lot between 9 and noon, and all are welcome to give blood. And Ms. Stutzman has another reminder.
When I walked into the meeting, there was only one tag left on the giving tree. So if you're feeling giving for the Holy Spirit, one tag is left.
We do have one tag left on the giving tree. And so if you would like to pull a tag, I believe there are 3 or 4 children in that family. So yes, there's that too. I think, is there anything else? Well, okay. Thank you all very much. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries and meeting is adjourned. Thank you.